Hi, and welcome back to CoshoctonCountySports.com's first ever Sports Zone Sports Show, brought to you by the Jeff Drennan dealerships of Zanesville and Coshocton. And we're joined by the man himself, Mr. Jeff Drennan, a huge Buckeye enthusiast, a big supporter of the team, so much so that you have your picture in the Ohio State football program. Why is that? What is it about Ohio State football that intrigues you so much?
Well, I mean, growing up, I've been a football fanatic my entire life. And then moving to this part of the state in 2005, purchasing the first dealership in Zanesville. Part of that program that they were involved in at the time was what they called a car coach sponsorship program. And what we do is just donate a car for use to the university, and with that, then we get some perks back. But it was just kind of a natural fit. For me, being a big Buckeye fan, I wanted to continue to support the Buckeyes in any way that I could.
Well, and it's not just the business deals that run through, but it seems that the Buckeye blood just runs all the way through you. I mean, you not only are sponsoring, but you're also good friends with Troy Smith, I hear.
Yes.
How did that come about?
2006, got together with Troy on an endorsement deal it's still going today. And Troy's one of the spokesmodels for the dealership. He'll cut some TV spots, some radio spots. I'm normally with him 3 or 4 times a year.
Now, how did you get to know him? How did you meet him, I guess?
Well, another friend of mine on the team is Doug Daddish. Doug was a senior co-captain with Troy. Doug's been a friend since 2003, and he made the connection. And it's just, our styles and beliefs and everything are pretty much the same, and we just hit it off from day one. And he had no sponsorship deal with any car dealers in Columbus. He said that he thought they were asking for a bit much, and I don't do that. I don't ask too much of him. He doesn't ask too much of me. I have a great relationship with his business manager, so the whole deal just works for us.
It seems you have a great relationship with a lot of people, not just Doug Daddish, Troy Smith. You also have a great relationship with Jim Haycock from Muskingum, and who was brothers with Jim Haycock, the defensive coordinator at Ohio State. You were telling me before we came on camera that you grew up with these guys. What was that experience like growing up with them? And now that you're older and one of them's the defensive coordinator for the Buckeyes, what's that like?
Well, it's interesting because the area where I'm from originally is Northeast Ohio. It's Mahoning County. The Haycocks actually grew up about 3 miles from where I grew up, but they went to a neighboring school, West Branch, and I went to Sebring-McKinley. And, we just spent time, back in that area, it's kind of hard to explain, but there's a lot of good athletes. And, but there's not Division I athletes. And it seems like there's a lot of Division II, a lot of Division III. And those guys, for whatever the reason, you seem to stay connected throughout your life. And, you watch where, as you branch out going forward, where, a certain guy may end up. And to see, the Haycocks, done extremely well. Jim's in a high-profile position, as we know, as defensive coordinator at Ohio State. Their younger brother, John, who's closer to my age, he's head coach at Youngstown State. He was handpicked by Coach Tressel. And he really was pulling for him and was hoping that he would get that job when he left. And then Jeff, Jeff went to Muskingum. And, we live in the same, area. Kids go to the same school district. And, it's neat to still have that relationship after all these years.
All right, well, then let's talk a little bit more about the dealership. It's a huge dealership. You catch it every time when you come into Zanesville right on Maple Avenue. What was it about the area that really intrigued you and made you want to start your dealership in Zanesville?
Well, a little course of events there that got us there. But, we bought the first dealership here in February of 2003. 14 months later, we purchased our second one here. 6 months after purchasing that dealership, as we know, it burnt down. And for 2 years, I kind of dueled my businesses together on Otsego Avenue until the manufacturers, being Chrysler and General Motors, said, we need a plan now going forward. And it was my plan all along, depending on the economy and how business continued to grow in Coshocton, what I was going to be able to do. And we purchased some land out on 36. And my plans all along was to build 2 dealerships out there. It didn't quite work out that way. General Motors approached me, I believe it was June of '05, about an opportunity in Zanesville that I looked at. and it was the Buick Pontiac GMC dealership down there, and purchased that in 2005, and in 2007 was able to purchase Chevrolet and Cadillac. So it wasn't like, I mean, it's really going well down there. I reside down there now. It is a big dealership. That's part of the reason I live there today. But that area down there is continuing to grow a little bit out on the north side, and things are just coming together. But it wasn't a plan of mine really to pick Zanesville, but it has been great for us. It's been a natural fit, as Coshocton has been. But I just can't be two places at one time. So that's where I'm at.
And right now, I know that the United States government has said that they're going to end, or that most dealerships are going to be ending the Cash for Clunkers program. You aren't doing that. Why is that? I mean, what is it about the Cash for Clunkers program that you like so much, and why are you continuing it?
Well, it's a part of the stimulus package that obviously has worked. It's had a tremendous effect on new car sales across the country. And, you have some down times in our industry. Your peak seasons are spring through summer. So you want to, the old saying, make hay while the sun shines. When you have an opportunity to where you have this type of traffic and activity coming into your dealership on a daily basis, you want to capitalize on it. So that's why we've decided to do it.
And then one more thing we want to hit on before we close up the show here. It's time to talk to Jeff. That slogan seems like it's pretty basic. Is there a special story behind that, about how you came up with that slogan, or even what's the promise behind that slogan that you try to sell to your customers?
Well, I think, myself, in coming into Coshocton, this community was a natural fit for me, for my DNA and my personality. And, I'm a small-town guy. I mean, my town, Sebring, Ohio, is less than 5,000 people. So, Coshocton was big. But being a small-town guy, I had a pretty good understanding as what it would take for me, being an outsider coming into this community, to succeed. And I wanted to be visible. I wanted people to know that, I'm a real person. I'm not just a name that's coming into your community from the outside. I wanted people to know that, that I'm very approachable, and that you can get to me if you need to talk to me. So, and I've been called on it 100 times. So it really worked out. It was just something that came to me. It's time to talk to Jeff, because I wanted the community to know that you can talk to me. And, it's really been, it's been a good slogan, and I guess we'll stay with it forever.
Well, let's go ahead and give it for our viewers. How can they talk to Jeff? What phone number, email address, website?
Well, I'm at the Zanesville dealership the majority of the time, and it's at 3625 North Maple Avenue in Zanesville, right at the entrance of the Colony Square Mall. Or you can call the dealership here in Coshocton, or call me at the dealership in Zanesville. And, you'll get to me. What is that number here in Coshocton? It's 740-622-3936. In Zanesville, it's 740-452-4579. All right, well, if you're looking to buy a newer used car, this is the man to talk to, Jeff Drennan right here. Jeff, we thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much. Jeff Drennan from the Jeff Drennan dealerships in Zanesville and Coshocton, our sponsor. We want to remind you that coming up on Friday and Saturday, we're going to be streaming high school football games right here on CoshoctonCountySports.com. Friday, we bring you Coshocton's season opener against East Knox. We'll be on the air at 7:10 for that game. Saturday, I'll be joined by Jason West as Ridgewood takes on Shadyside. That game will get going at 6:40. Kickoff will actually be at 7 o'clock, so you don't want to miss that. Again, this has been the Sports Zone Sports Show, brought to you by the Jeff Drennan dealerships of Zanesville and Coshocton.